Hey Utah, it's Dinko the Realtor. Are you a first-time home buyer in the great state of Utah and you see a lot of obstacles preventing you from home ownership? Well, I'm here to give you 3 quick tips in order for you to become a homeowner in the great state of Utah. Now, it is the American dream of home ownership, so it's definitely a possibility. Now, before we get into those 3 quick tips, I do want to say that the housing market is going downwards, and we have had 4 consecutive months with home prices dropping, and October, the preliminary reports are showing, is going to be the 5th straight month with home prices dropping. So make sure you hit that subscribe button, watch my previous videos on the market so you're up to date with what's going on with the housing market. I drop weekly videos of what's going on and tips about the Utah housing market, and home prices are most likely going to continue going downwards for months and months to come. So make sure you subscribe and watch those other videos. That way you're a very well informed first-time home buyer. Now, let's get into the tips. So the biggest misconception that I hear from first-time home buyers is I don't have the 20% down payment that's required, or a 10% down payment. And where did this all start that you needed this very big down payment in order to become a homeowner? Well, let's take a look at this article. You have to put 20% down when buying a house. And that was true until the 1950s. So until the 1950s, you did have to have a 20% down payment. And until the 1930s, you actually had to have a 50% down payment in order to get a mortgage, and you only had 5 to 7 years in order to pay it off. Now, as home prices have been getting more and more expensive, and the population boom that the US has been experiencing has made mortgages change, because people just weren't able to obtain those mortgages and those homes because it just wasn't a reality anymore to come up with that big down payment. And now we have programs that are all the way down to 3%, and we have programs actually in Utah, a first-time homebuyer program that's 0%. So the drawbacks to it is that it does have a higher interest rate, and then the second mortgage is what covers your down payment, and that second mortgage does have a higher interest rate than the first mortgage. I have in the past helped some first-time home buyers take advantage of this because they wanted home ownership and they just didn't have the down payment. I have been telling people this year to stay on the sidelines, as I knew home prices were going to come down, and so far, as I mentioned earlier, we have had 4 consecutive months, and October is going to be the 5th. So definitely watch the other videos as well. And then the other biggest misconception that we have out there is my credit score is just not high enough. My credit score sucks and I can't become a homeowner. Well, FHA loans were put in place to help with that, and they're specifically government backed. Now, you can have a credit score as low as 580 and still qualify for an FHA loan. And once you're 600 and up, FHA loans are a much bigger reality. Once you're around 580s, I have experience with clients that there are things that are a little bit harder, but we can always do things and get some tips on how to improve your credit score in order to get you into those 600s. And homeownership is going to be a reality for you, even if you don't have that 700 plus credit score. Those are conventional loans. My first loan was an FHA loan. When I graduated college, I took out an FHA loan on my first property because my debt to income ratios were just too high to go conventional. And what that means is they take your car payment, your student loans, I didn't graduate any student loans, thank God though, but they take your monthly payment of the house and any other debt that you have, and they say, hey, you can't exceed 57% of your monthly expenses compared to what you're making. So that's why I went with an FHA loan. And that's where FHA loans help make homeownership a reality, is they allow bigger debt to income ratios. They also allow for lower credit scores. And the cool thing is they tend to have lower interest rates. But the one negative is that mortgage insurance, you do pay some of it up front, and then it never goes away even when you become a 20% equity holder in the house like it does on a conventional loan. But by then, you're probably going to buy another house by the time you build that 20% equity if you are a first-time home buyer, or if interest rates aren't higher than when you got into the FHA loan, you can always refinance, work on the credit score, work on the debt to income ratios, and once you have that equity in the house, you can refinance into a conventional loan. So there are possibilities for you as a first-time home buyer. So your standard conventional loan is 5% down, and your FHA loan is 3.5% down. So now that we see we don't need those big down payments, and we also don't need those extremely high credit scores either in order to become a homeowner, as 600 plus will do the trick. homeownership is a much bigger reality. And the third tip that I have is make sure you find yourself a real estate agent that's very knowledgeable about the market, that's able to take you from A to Z through all the different steps that are involved in the real estate purchasing transaction. And sometimes people will find an agent that does this on the side, or they're just a family member and they really don't have too much knowledge and they're not guiding them through it. They just, say, yeah, I can help you. I can show you houses. So make sure you find yourself somebody that's actually knowledgeable. If I can help you in any way, my contact information will be down below. Call or text me anytime. Make sure you hit that subscribe button. That way you're notified when new market videos are dropped, and also when new videos are dropped about being a homeowner in the great state of Utah. Leave a comment down below. That way I know what you would like to see in future videos. That way I can make those videos as well. And do me a favor, hit that like button. Help me with the YouTube algorithm. And until next time, have a great day.